This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/reps and get on your way to being your best self. I have struggled with sleep for so long, and it's because as soon as I get in bed, I'll be so exhausted. And as soon as I get in bed, my mind is just racing. It's like our brain is getting in its own way. Like, you know what you should do, what's good for you, but you just can't do it. Well, BetterHelp Therapy can help you figure out what's holding you back so you can work for yourself instead of against yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. I cannot say it enough. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/reps today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/reps. Hi. Look at my hair.
I know, I see it.
I love it.
We appreciate you though. I know that it's been a runaround for us trying to get on here.
Well, hi ladies.
Hi.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling. Yep.
Okay. You guys are wondering why I look like shit because I just got out of the shower.
I think you look amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
A little bit strong.
The funny thing is, like, as this podcast keeps going, it's going to start drying. And I'm going to be a completely different person at the end of it.
It'll start at the ends though, and it will.
Yeah. And at the front. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really happy about this. Anyway, love you guys. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Between the Reps, Brooke and Jeanna and Dana.
Hello.
Are we doing DB and J or BD and J? BD and J sounds like a sex, like, I don't know, BDSM or something. DB and J.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds better. Look, she's new to the podcast, and she's already claiming.
Already at the forefront. It should be JB and D.
JBD. JBD. That sounds pretty good too. JBD.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just start thinking of like the "What would Jesus do" bracelets, but trying to think of like
what would BD and J do?
What would JBD do?
Yeah, nobody wants that.
No.
Probably the wrong thing. Anyway,
what are we talking about?
How's your shitty manicure? It doesn't look that bad on screen.
No, they're not bad from far away. I think they look great. Well, I think Jeanna, I should almost replay the voice note you sent me about my nails.
Yeah. Well, so I'm sure anybody out there that gets their nails done can.
She was like, not all of them even go to my cuticle. Unless
it's like you make the time to go sit in a chair for like an hour to 2 hours, depending on what you're getting done. And then for it to come out shitty, it sucks. I mean, there's worse problems in the world.
Actually, cut mine because my lady, I just wanted to like put like light pink on it just so, because my nails are gross. Like natural. Just natural. And she's like, no, I'll buff it. So I was like, cool. All right. We'll see what that looks like. She sold it to you though, too. She was like, no, it's better and they're shiny and so beautiful. So beautiful. And she's like, okay. I was like, I've done it. They've done that to me before. So she like squared off my nails, but like they were like pointed on the sides. They kept like stabbing me. So I finally just cut them all off.
Yeah. Sometimes when you ask them,
like little boy hands. Oh, that's really just.
It's so annoying when they like file them all the way down. Like you've finally grown them and they file them to match that one that broke.
I specifically went in there and you guys, I've been working on not picking up my nails, using a nail file, growing them out, and they were so long. And I had them painted, and then I picked my gel polish off. And
because you are a picker.
I'm a picker. And I had 2 nails that I broke when I was in Florida. And I didn't pick any of the other ones. They were those 2 nails were growing back out. And I went in there and I said, I know that I have a couple nails that are like a lot shorter than the other one. I said, but do not file my nails. I'm like, I'll put a color on them and they'll be shorter, but they'll grow out. I just don't want you to file all of them off. And he's like,
and they filed them all off.
Okay. And not only did he file them all the way off, but like her, none of them were the same shape. Like no two are alike.
Well, that's kind of special.
And so
They wanted their own individuality.
I voice noted Jeanna and I was like, dude, I got to vent to you right now. I was like, my nails got fucked up. Tell her what happened. Not only that, but I got talked into doing powder, doing dip.
The dip. I do the dip. So I know Dana hates the dip.
Jeanna does the dip. I've done it before and then I stopped doing it. I just do gel. But I was like, maybe it would, I've seen girls that do it and it looks nice. And so I was like, oh, maybe because my nails are longer, like it will look better.
It's supposed to be better than gel because they'll stay stronger.
Yeah. So that's what I was like, whatever. Okay. And then it didn't matter because he filed off all the length that I have and none of the ends of them are the same. And in fact, as the way he dipped them, there's more powder that ended up
in the middle
of the nail.
Yeah.
And then in the back is like the last dip that he did. So it kind of goes like
so he went like gradual, like from the top to the bottom.
From the end, it goes up and then it goes
back down.
Yeah. It's like the bunny hill at the resort.
He did a shitty job.
Did a shit job. And I can see it happening. Like it's happening. Dee is dealing with her own thing because she like wants them to paint her nails. Can you just paint it? She's like, but I just put oil on it. I was like, put some.
Can you take it off?
Yeah, just spray it with some oil.
Can you take it off?
There you go. Yeah, because they usually rub your hands or whatever with lotion at your feet, and then they wipe the nail off, and then they paint them. Yeah. So anyways, I'm looking at this dude. First, I had picked a nail color that was gel, and he went and matched it. He's like, "Oh, do dip? Yeah, do dip." I was like, "Okay." I'm like, it's gonna be the same color. It's the same color. And as he's doing my nails, slightly more fluorescent than the color that I picked. But I'm sitting there and I'm like they're finishing my toes and I'm just kind of stuck. Dee's dealing with her conundrum over there. And I'm looking at him and I said to him, I was like, can you file them down more? They're really thick. And he says, they're not thick.
I love it when they tell you something and you're like, no.
He said, no, he's like, it's actually pretty thin. And I'm like, and I show him, I'm like, look, there's a mound. And I'm like, and so he's like trying to file it, which he had a Dremel.
Yeah, they sand it.
But here's the thing. As he's like doing the top of the nail, it didn't seem to be making any changes at all.
He was just faking it.
He took that Dremel to the side of one of my nails and it fucking took the corner off. And at that point I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It was not great. No.
Well, it was funny because so you had left me a voice note and then I was like, okay, how bad can it really be?
But you also talked about what happened to your nails, right? She's like talking about the same thing. They filed her nails off.
Oh, I went in, I had my pedicure done and the lady goes, she goes to clip, like after they put the gel on, she goes with the little cuticle clippers and clips my toe, my pinky toe. And I went, ow. And she goes, oh no, it's just gel. And I go, no, that's my toe. And she goes to do it again and she clips it again. I go, don't do that. That's my toe. She goes, no, it's just the gel. And I look and I'm like, my toe is bleeding. like, what do you mean?
Like, I can tell if you're clipping my freaking flesh or not.
Yeah, I'm not going to say ow for no reason. Yeah, so she was arguing with me as I'm bleeding. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, not going back to that place.
Jeanna sends me a picture of her nails. And she's like, had told me how shitty they were. And I'm looking around, I was like, they actually look pretty great. Not that shitty. So I send her a picture of mine.
But they're short.
Yes, they're short. But I send her a picture of mine. Should I just play the voice note you sent me?
You can. I don't remember what I said.
It's good.
Well, you said that they looked like
I told you that they
little candies that you wouldn't want to eat.
Yeah, I said they look like little round candies stuck to my fingers, and they're the type of candy anyone would pass in.
Right. They're like the ones that spin in your like grandpa's pocket.
Right here. So she sends me her nails, and then I send her mine. And Jeanna says this. I go, they look like little candies you would never buy.
Yeah.
And Jeanna says, look at that finger.
Yeah, those are pretty awful. I was ready to tell you that they were fine, but they're really awful. And you didn't even like get to your cuticle on a lot of them. Dude.
Wow.
Those are bad. But I don't know. I think they'll look good from far away.
Yeah. Like from over there. No, this is when it gets good.
Oh my God. And Michaela's here to pick me up so we can go to dinner movie club. And I was telling her the whole backstory, and I told her how I was like ready to tell you that they were probably fine, and then saw them and thought, oh wow, yeah, they're not that great. And she goes, oh my God, they look like toenails.
They do. They really do. Dude, I feel like they don't look like that now, right?
You know, and like from far away.
They're not. I mean, yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They're fine.
Put a little color on mine. They're like, no,
dude,
no.
I had told Todd about them, and he said, he told me, he said, how are they? And I said, they're not good,
Yeah.
not bad. And I said, just you don't look at them up close. He goes, oh, I'm going to look at them up close. And he looks at me and he goes, they look like little girl hands, like little girl nails. And I'm like, they do.
They do look like little girl
little
nails.
kid nails. They, like their nails are still like, you know, deciding what kind of shape they're going to be.
Yeah. I'm sure that our listeners probably have some, I mean, these aren't the worst stories. I'm sure that they have some horror stories. So if you have any horror stories, please email us at betweenthereps@gmail.com.
Yes, please.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. I have struggled with sleep for so long, and it's because as soon as I get in bed, I'll be so exhausted, and as soon as I get in bed, my mind is just racing. And it's not even necessarily about any particular thing. It's just like racing from one thing to the other to the other. And I feel like most people that I've talked to that have struggled with sleep have the exact same thing happening. It's like our brain is getting in its own way. Like you know what you should do, what's good for you, but you just can't do it. Well, BetterHelp Therapy can help you figure out what's holding you back so you can work for yourself instead of against yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. I cannot say it enough. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/reps today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/reps.
Okay, I have a question that I was going to read. I haven't pre-read it, so hopefully I can.
You just go for it.
All right, I'm going to go for it. This is from Victoria. Won't read your whole name. Good morning. My name is Victoria, and I watch all your podcasts, and I'm always entertained. I love the dynamic of Brooke and Jeanna, and of course, Dana now. I will keep this as short as I can because I know you guys are busy. I was wondering how Brooke and Jeanna became friends. I can be very shy, introverted, and it is difficult to meet new friends at age 30. I'm from Minnesota and live in North Carolina, moved here 4 years ago. I met my boyfriend here very shortly after moving and feel like I need my own social life. Yes, girl, you do. I met my boyfriend at the gym and we started out as friends and we would work out and get coffee together. Since the pandemic hit, he stopped exercising after 17 straight years with no breaks. He is going to go back, but I realized that I should probably have a girl as a friend and need my own time. Anyway, the reason I love your guys' friendship is because I get along with older people much easier than girls my age. Any advice for someone to meet new friends without seeming too desperate? Thank you so much. Go to the nursing home.
Oh my God.
Go volunteer at a nursing home.
Like old people?
Yeah, make a friend.
Yeah.
I met Jeanna when she was standing in line to get her life alert.
Yeah. It was like, what? I was standing in line.
I can't get up.
No, I met Jeanna. We met through the gym.
We met through the gym. Yeah.
And I met Dana through
the internet.
Through the internet.
by,
through the gym,
fitness world. Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of hit or miss, you know? I've met a lot of women through the years, but these are the two I've landed on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're good ones.
And
Yeah.
we're solid.
Yeah, I think that's a common. I always have a hard time with women who say I just can't be friends with girls or whatever, because I kind of feel like maybe there's a problem with them.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like a competitive issue or something going on. But I do think that it is hard to. I mean, it's hard to meet people sometimes. I mean, sometimes they fall into your lap, which I think is kind of what happened with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about, you know, in the past, I've become friends with people too quickly and then realize they're fucking bonkers,
Mm-hmm.
or we're not the same kind of people, or it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with them. Could be something wrong with me. I don't know.
No, I think that you used to be, you didn't hold, you do it a lot better now.
Yeah, I'm better now.
You would never like allow time where you kind of like held someone new, like at an arm's length, like you were friendly.
Yeah.
But if that person was, if you met them through a good friend of yours, it was if you were just your sweetest self, nicest self, would do anything to help them, like just a helper. And then all of a sudden you're like, why am I being taken advantage of?
Right.
And I'm over here like, the fuck?
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
They know. Yeah.
They know.
I feel like Dana, you've had that experience too.
I think we both do. When you're in the internet's weird, and when you get to some sort of stature and people look up to you and they want to do the things that you can get. I can be friends with literally anybody because everyone wants to be my friend.
Yeah.
But there's like such a little trial period.
Yeah.
I always keep people very distant. I will be super friendly, but we've learned, me and Rob have learned over the years so many times that like, yeah, we can be friends with everyone. Everyone wants to be our friend, but they want something out of us.
Okay.
And we always figure it out maybe like a year later. And a lot of times I can always tell based on like when I first meet someone, first intuition on anybody, I'm so good. And if I get any kind of like weird vibe, weird feeling, just something just doesn't feel right, I'm like, I don't like, hey, we're going to keep that person at a distance until they can like prove themselves that they're not like using us. And because we do that and like, we become really good friends with people. We put them in videos, we get them to this other level that they're trying to be with us. And then they like kind of burn us. They're like, yep, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
We have that with like employees, people that work with us. Yeah. It's
Well,
weird.
I think that that's probably a pretty common thing with anybody who has any kind of fame or clout or anything. It would be harder to weed those people out.
It is.
So that's kind of you would probably automatically, since that has happened so many times, do that. Like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
Let's
Like, I can't think of the like cues right now, but things like I look for like I don't even hang out with some of my friends that I used to be friends with in college because all they want to do is like, hey, when we're hanging out, it's like, oh, selfie. It's like, stop.
Right.
Can we just hang out? Like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't taken a picture since like, I feel like I don't have anything to post, but like, we're too busy actually hanging out, not too busy like, ooh, what can I post on the internet?
Exactly.
I think that's like a big thing.
Well, like I've even said too, you know, I know people that
I have a runny nose.
I know.
I know people that also have, you know, do social and things like that. And it's always there's a lot in there.
Just,
A lot more in there than she thought.
we're just all a mess. Just
Like everything when we're all hanging out, like everything always turns into an opportunity to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And on one hand, like I try to think about it from all sides. On one hand, smart, you know,
Yeah.
and this is the world of business and like having to do with like online marketing or social media or anything like that, it's always changing. So you do always have to be working. I understand that. And at the same time, I don't want that all the time.
Right.
I don't do it. So it's like I have to tell myself, I'm like, well, I could probably be doing better. Or like have more followers or more engagement. And
I haven't even posted in 4 days.
yeah. And on one hand, it's like, I need to do better. Like I need to do that for me and for other people that work with me. And at the same time, there are certain times where it's like, if I don't feel like it, if I'm having a bad day or I'm like really stressed, I've got so much shit going on and like, fires need to be put out all over the place. The last thing I think of doing is posting. So I don't.
Well, and you've even said it, like when we were down for Dana's birthday, it's like, there's so many great opportunities to have all these like great videos, but sometimes you just want to enjoy your friends and enjoy being with each other and not monopolizing on that. I mean, for me, it's not a big deal. I don't have, I'm not linked to social media in the same way. So it's not important to me, but so yeah, sometimes you just want to enjoy the people that you're around and not just creating content constantly.
And like, I even think about it when like we drove up Glacier, right? And you see something so beautiful and you get your phone out, take a picture. And I'll put my camera up and I'm like, and I think to myself like, and I immediately put my camera away. It's like, I want the memory. Yeah. I should put it on my story. I should be involved in my story, but like on Instagram. But then the next thing I think about was like, I just want to have a memory. Like I'm on my phone, it's never going to show through the way I'm seeing it right now. So what am I doing? In fact, instead of having my phone out, I'll put it in my pocket and then see it. And if I want to remember it, let's fucking come back. Yeah. We'll come again.
Right.
And we'll come another time with someone who has a camera who can like document it for us. But this time, experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but really we kind of got off track with that because she's basically asking like, how would she?
I think the easiest thing is find what you like to do. So I'm assuming that she enjoys the gym. So that's where you find your friends. Find friends that like all the things that like, if you love playing basketball, go to a basketball, like it's the same thing. If you love hiking, go to a glacier and like go to a park, go start hiking, and you're going to run into people that have similar things that interest you.
Yeah. And I think what she's saying too is that she's a little more shy. So I can see how that would be an obstacle of not feeling comfortable. I mean, I know I wouldn't just go up to somebody and be like, hey, hi, I'm Jeanna. Do you like doing the same? Yeah, you want to be my friend?
I think the easiest way, especially for a girl, is like just got like you find someone that you want to be like, oh my God, I love your shoes. Like you just find something that you like love. And then it just
you have a conversation.
Strike up a conversation.
Or like, oh shit, like where'd you get that shirt? I like it. Or if you know something they're wearing, or like a movement they're doing, like, oh, I really like that movement. What just ask a question, and then usually starts from there.
Yeah, because then you break the ice. So if you want to have a conversation or, introduce yourself, or maybe you just moved there or whatever, or you're new to the gym, break the ice with a compliment or a question and then be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I haven't lived here that long.
Maybe we can train sometime.
Maybe we can do some training sessions together, something like that.
Yeah. It's not
commonality. Find a commonality.
It's not fun training by yourself. Yeah. Go train with someone.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. More enjoyable when you can like chat and giggle with someone.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, it's depending on what gym you're at. I know that our gym does a lot of community building things to try to include people. Now, I know that sometimes there end up being groups within that. And I think sometimes like we've had it happen at our gym where we have kind of our core group of people, and then sometimes other people will join us for different things. If it's outside of the gym or something the gym has planned. And there have been some people in the past that are like, well, I don't feel like I'm included with the cool kids or the cool club or whatever. But it's kind of like you have to make sure that you are not that they are the cool kids or the cool club, but I think that sometimes people blame other people for not including them when they're not really putting themselves out there.
It's not their job. So that one thing is it's like playing the victims really easy. Like, oh, woe is me. It's very easy to do that. So if you are that, recognize it but it's not everyone else's job to make sure you're comfortable. Make yourself comfortable. You're first in line. So you approach them and be like, hey, like same as like middle school, like trying to find where to sit for lunch.
Oh, brutal.
Like like occasionally someone will be like, hey, you want to sit with us? Like, but sometimes you just have to ask. And generally 99% of the time, people are much more willing to be nice than to be mean, be like, no, you can't sit with us. They're gonna,
right.
like, you have to take some initiative. If you want to have friends, you have to step out of that comfort zone a little bit and don't blame everyone else because they didn't include you. Include yourself.
Also, I think it's important to make sure that you are yourself. Like, don't try to be somebody different to fit in with a certain person, because eventually yourself is going to come out.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you are with like-minded people and people that I'm thinking in terms of myself, that understand my humor or understand, I mean, mostly my humor is what I worry about because I tend to say things and do things thinking that they're funny, and some people just don't think they are, and that's fine, but that's probably not the individuals that I'm going to try and spend a lot of my time with.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to have to edit myself and who I am.
No, never.
Thank you.
Never want you to edit yourself.
Thank you. But yeah, so, and then as far as, I think the age sometimes can be a factor. But then if you look at it too, yes, I'm 51. Dana, what are you now? 38. Brooke is 32. 32 now. My God,
Baby.
I'm getting old, girl.
Baby girl.
Baby girl. And there are, and there is something to some women taking longer to mature or, I guess, mature. But if you really look at it, Brooke's 32 and she's more mature than I am. So in certain aspects. Yeah. So it's not necessarily that you need to get an older friend. I mean, I'm not saying don't get an older friend, but there are probably people that are her age that have the same maturity level.
Yes.
So I wouldn't just say that just because people are young that they're dumb.
Yeah. Well, so
I mean, well, definitely some of them, and some of them are old and dumb. So
I mean, I think of like Sammy, Rob's assistant. I think she's 28, maybe even less than that, 25 and 28. But she's like full grown adult, totally can like hold a conversation. Like she's Rob's assistant. So, she has to be like on it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So like, and she's 10 to 12 years younger than me.
Right.
We hang out all the time.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for me, I've just ended up, I became friends with Brooke and that just happened naturally, but I do have friends my own age, but they're just and I started so young with having kids and getting married and all that. And a lot of them have been married for about the same amount of time, but they had kids later. So it just kind of became, I still will see them every once in a while, but they're like in the thick of it with kids and, husbands and all this kind of thing. And it just kind of happened to where I just started having more younger friends. Plus I've found that a lot of people, as they get older, and Brooke, your parents have talked about this, it's like they give up, like they just think they're old.
Yeah. My parents' best friends.
And they act old.
My parents' best friends, my dad even said he was driving with his buddy, and he was driving so slow. And my dad looked at him and goes, "You're driving like all those guys that we get mad at." And he goes, "Yeah, I know." He goes, and it was like he's like, that's how he wants to drive now.
Right.
And it's like I talked to my parents, but like my mom said, she goes, they're old. And I said,
right.
Mom, it's just because it's like you make the decision of how you want to feel. Like obviously there's things that are outside of your control. It's like my body hurts and makes me feel like I'm really a lot older than I actually am all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But for like my parents, they don't want to get old yet.
No.
You know, like they still.
Yeah, it's a mindset.
And they don't have to. It's like you could have people who are like in their 60s, 70s, 80s that if they don't, just because they might not move the way they used to or be able to exercise the way they used to or whatever, they still have the mind of someone who wants to still do it, like go and do stuff, like be out and about and
live life. It's all up here. It's all up here. All of this will go away. This outer shell is definitely going to get older, but this doesn't necessarily have to.
No.
Brain. That's all in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, well, hopefully that helps, Victoria. I don't know. Making friends is hard sometimes, and you win some, you lose some.
Ain't that the truth?
you win some, you lose some.
And the ones you win, you hold on to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, sometimes you're like, I'm not looking for new friends.
No.
Well, and we've said that before.
I need like 2. That's fine.
Yeah. My ex used to I used to joke about it. He would become friends with somebody and then they were like his best friend and then they were over all the time. And then all of a sudden he'd move on to a next one. So then I had made friends with them and then all of a sudden we weren't hanging out with them anymore. And then it was, and I got to a point where I was like trying to keep up with my friendships with these people that I'd made friendships with over the years, but he just kept moving on. And then I'd be like, he'd bring somebody else over and I'd go, I can't do new friends. I can't. I don't have enough time or energy or anything.
There's too many people.
Steps.
Yeah. And it's not like this thing where, we're all assholes going, no more new friends. I mean, obviously we'll make new friends, but you get to a point where you only have so much energy for so many people in your life. So you got to pick and choose. That's all I got, guys.
Oh, that's it? The only question?
Oh, we had, says DB and J.
Oh, I like that it's a thing now.
Yeah. Warning. Shit, this is stupid long, positive, but rambling long. It is what it is. Just listen to your latest podcast. I think it's great format. I think now with B and J having done it for so long on their own and knowing each other so well, they might, they might start to struggle thinking of things they want to share thinking. We are bored with them. We are not. Well, that's good to hear because we're always like, what the fuck? But adding data in there, this old lady follows her as well as I'm Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, think opposite of Graves, but with the same exhaustion. And it's clear why you are all such a great group of friends. You all love to laugh. You especially love to laugh at yourselves, which in this ridiculous cancel culture, oversensitive Karen, correction, up is down, and down is up. And no one can be friends unless you agree in 100% everything time. We need your realness to show that most of us are not the judgy assholes you currently see on social media. And the only way to minimize those loud Karens and screaming radically offended is to keep sharing what the 99% of normal peeps are like. I'm trying to see if there's a question in here.
Keep reading it.
Okay. I am looking forward to propping my phone on the dreaded treadmill. Fucking hate it, but the bears are heavily feeding around here right now. So no walking alone for me, country mountain life. For the shits and giggles you provide. And to Dana specifically, Graves and Hashimoto's, I think is now the #1 autoimmune disease in the world. From 30 years of dealing with mine, all I know for sure is that both of these thyroid diseases are lifelong and different in every way imaginable for everyone. What works for one person might not for another, although there does seem to be a few common themes to wildly varying degrees. If you can please keep sharing your journey with us all as you learn about it. Sorry, that was the end of the sentence. It's overwhelming, and often listening to someone can provide a tip that we hadn't thought about. Your integrity and honesty in your breakdown video, we know and understand. Trust me, please, on this. Fuck the assholes that may say you have nothing to cry about with your body. I get it, even though I'm on the other end, and joke that I could do with a touch of Graves to get this sloth metabolism to burn off some fat. Your body is your business, and this must be a very, very scary time on multiple levels. So shut off the critical voices. If they don't offer support or can at least bite their tongue, leave them in your rearview mirror. Stress is the devil for us, and big picture, they don't matter. In fact, this may or could pivot into a marketable endeavor for you, considering how massively prevalent these thyroid diseases are. Something to think about. Cheers. Sorry about the novel, not a crazy, crazy person, just the right amount of nutsy cuckoo. My husband, my hubby's definition, kind of old lady. Cheers. That's from Krista.
Krista. Yeah, I think I heard like one question in there is about like just sharing. So I think I'm pretty much on the road recovery, but I think my best move I've ever done is cut out the endocrinologist that isn't helping me at all. I started going to a naturopath. My naturopath fixed me the last time. She's very hard to get into, so I went back to her. She kind of has me on the same cocktail. However, this time around, it's before it wasn't affecting so many hormones, like it's affecting so many things. Like my estrogen doubled. Like your estrogen is supposed to be between like 3 something and something, around the 300s, and mine's like 700, which makes
wow.
sense. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's not good.
Like iron's really high, my white blood cells are low, my bilirubin's high, like just a bunch of weird stuff this time that I didn't have to deal with. So we're doing a little bit of a different protocol, but with a naturopath, they look at everything. They look at everything you're eating, and they try to take such a holistic approach to it. A lot of vitamins. And then also have an endocrinologist out of Toronto who is an athlete herself. She was a power lifter, and she works with athletes. So knowing that I might need a little bit extra supplements here, because with Graves and the medicine I'm on, it doesn't let you absorb stuff. So I have to take like extra stuff. So I start absorbing things so my hair doesn't all fall out. And then also I'm stressing my body out because I'm trying to continue to train business wise and for my own sanity wise. So she understands what I'm putting my body through and understands like, hey, this isn't a normal person. This is someone that will test their body time and time again, even when their body doesn't want to be tested anymore. So she's been very helpful, and she's like, and they're working together, which is nice. So I sent her what the protocol for my naturopath, and it's a lot of like dietary changes. She wants me to go more gluten-free, stay away from like there's a whole autoimmune diet that you should be on. And my endocrinologist here didn't say anything about diet. I told her exactly what I was eating, and she said, because they don't know that, they don't teach that. But at least this lady, she's still an endocrinologist, but she's definitely like on the more holistic approach, and she looks at food, she looks at everything, your diet, nutrition, your training, absolutely, your stress levels. So I take like stress tests every like 2 weeks just to see how we're doing. She looks at cortisol levels and everything. And it's just so helpful. So I think the biggest thing is like, don't always just go with the first doctor. A lot of times they're just going to put you on drugs, and they're not going to look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
So find a naturopath, and I think honestly naturopath, because she still prescribes drugs. Like I'm still on the methazole. I can't say it. Methazole, whatever, the drug for thyroid. She still prescribes that along with a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. And I think it is important to make sure, because I think there's I think it's good to go the natural way, but like you said, somebody that still knows the other side of it.
Yeah, she's
the science side of it.
She's the best of both worlds. She's putting all of it together.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you, Krista, for writing in.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Shall we wrap it up?
Yes. And I send in some questions that you might have for
questions are great.
The three of us.
Yeah, please.
Group question.
Or we could keep talking about our nails.
Yeah, we could. Or how like me.
I don't think they want that. Or what?
Old, so I'm super nasally.
Just over here snotty nose.
Somebody needs an allergy pill.
Little boy snot, a little snot nose. My God.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. Come on, Dana. 5-star.
So hard when we're on different cameras. 5-star rating.
5-star warning. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yep. Bye.